Sure. Show me this way. Put your hands further.
It's Grags' birthday.
Yay! Man, I just took a great picture. Grags.
Here's Grags.
I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, look at this.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, that's really
All the way over here.
Yeah, nice move.
I hope somebody got that on film.
Got it.
Good job, David.
Good job, David.
And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grags. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Make a wish.
We didn't see that other version yesterday.
Yay!
Yay! Grags' wish was, I hope this will be over soon.
Okay, how's that other version go? We have to do the other song.
Do the other version.
How's the other song?
No, don't tell us your birthday. Happy birthday just for you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you hold the candles, one light stays aglow. Yes, the love light in your eyes wherever you go. Yay! Thank you, David.
Thank you, David is ready for his piece.
Yeah, David doesn't want to miss a piece here.
Just 1 minute.
They'll cut it up and you'll get a piece.
Where did they say? Before you
I think her family, it's
break
a tradition
up.
in her family.
See, there's all of Selena's family, and if you go over with your family, someone will take a picture of all of you together at this birthday party.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll take one of Grandma and Grandpa Ross together. And we'll take one of
We're missing Abraham.
Where's Abraham?
There he is.
Hello. And Aunt Sorry.
Oh, that's a good
That's
picture.
Yes, that's a good
Very cute.
Fabulous picture.
And I want one
Andrea's camera was in it, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh,
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Ruthie was
Okay,
doing
guys.
that.
Thank
I'm
you, guys.
sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
a goofy
You
face.
can have a piece.
Now if Andrea gets over there, then we can.
What is that?
Go ahead, sweetie.
Hannah, look at the next page.
Hannah, go to the next page.
Look what's here. Look what's here.
Hannah, go back over.
Hannah. Come on, let's look at the chicken. There's the chicken. Come on, you want to look at the chicken? There. There's the chicken.
Jakey, don't be shy. Go over and show it to her.
Here's Sid.
Oh, here, I'll get it.
She'll come.
There we go. Show Grags how you can make the sound go. Can you show her how it works?
Will you show me? Oh. You wanna
She's
tell
right
me,
there.
Where did you go today?
I was on the ferry boat and then on my boat.
Come on over here.
I was on 2 boats.
2 boats today? What were the 2 boats? A ferry?
The ferry boat and our boat.
Oh my, how exciting. Did you like that? Did you enjoy it?
And who did you see on the boat, Jake? Huh? Oh, we'll get them. We'll get them. Why don't you pick those up, Jakey?
Here we are. Shall we get that pair of glasses too? One that fell down? Or you just want to stand here? What would you like?
Jake, can you tell Grags who we're going to see in Seattle? And who?
Straight to Daddy.
Can you blow him a kiss?
Aww.
So nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, hand.
Kissy, kissy. Kissy, kissy.
Ooh.
Do you know that word? Kissy, kissy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure you do. Yes, you do. Hannah Banana.
Jakey, do you remember dancing with the jazz music with Grumps a few years ago?
Oh,
Do you remember that when we first came out here and introduced him to you?
Hey, baby.
Oh, he was just a babe and all.
He was about Hannah's age, yeah.
And he sat on
I want
my
to
lap.
watch
I
one
have a very
video,
nice
Mommy.
picture.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to do that right now, honey. Hi, babe.
But you know, he's a different boy.
Oh, yeah.
Then.
He's very different now. That's right.
Mommy was very busy keeping him away from all our possessions. because She
Yes.
was so afraid that he was going to
Right.
harm something.
And rightly so, because he's inclined to pick up and explore.
But at that time, I really don't know whether he was of that nature, but Mummy was terribly anxious not to have him.
No, he doesn't really break things or anything, but he loves to see what things
When
are.
he was Hannah's age, that's what they do.
Sure,
They just go
a lot of
around and
accidents.
Get into some.
No, he was younger than Hannah.
Yeah, first time he came out here was 5 months old.
Yeah, he was just
Yeah.
a little.
In fact, we flew back on Halloween.
Oh, that's right.
It was really something.
That's right, you did. You've got a very good memory, Jason.
Well, thank you.
I don't remember all those fine details.
Hannah, are you going to read your book
Show
with...
Grandpa the
Give
book.
Grandpa your book, sweetie.
Yeah.
She must have given it to Grandpa.
What do you think,
They
sweetie?
don't fit Grandpa very well.
Oh, she's trying. She's trying.
It fits my nose. It fits your nose is right. Oh. Woof.
Hannah, come back so Grumps can read to you.
After you pet my funny furry ears, turn the pages and meet my friends.
She wants you to wear your glasses when you read. Does Grandpa need glasses? Does Grandpa need glasses?
Hannah, show Grumps the book.
Grumps, I don't remember that. I don't. They can call him Grumps.
They have,
Isn't that funny?
Oh, that's nice.
Yellow tummy.
Hannah, can you touch it with your nose? Yeah, go ahead.
Fluffy tummy.
She's going to touch it with her nose.
I see she's wearing a band-aid
Yeah, a little
fell
fall
on the ferry.
ferry.
on the field.
It's
Yeah.
not so steady,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, did it affect
No.
Jacob?
He fell too, but nothing happened. A couple of them fell, actually. It's hard to keep your balance
Well, it is a
somehow.
wiggly
And she
throat.
fell, yeah.
She's very intrigued with her great grandpa.
Grandpa in the glasses.
What? What's he doing, silly?
Hannah, can you blow Grumps a kiss?
Oh,
that was
that's
nice.
even better.
Yay, let's clap for Hannah. Yeah. That's really sweet.
I
Ma.
want Jakey to bring that toy over and show me.
Jake,
Come on,
can
Jake.
you show Grox that toy that you're playing with?
Show me again. Jay? There you go. J, J, J. A. A. C. O.
Standing up.
B.
Yay!
You can tell her,
R.
honey, right?
Can you spell your last name?
What's your
R.
last name? Do you remember?
R, correct. O. S. S. And then another S. Oh. This toy talks to you, doesn't it?
Jakey, can you tell Grog's daddy's phone number?
What's Daddy's phone number?
You know it. Mr. Shy.
Come on, tell me Daddy's.
What does it start with? You remember?
Yeah.
8?
There it is.
8?
It's a doggy.
The machine is talking now.
Fuzzy.
Very good, Jakey. You have a cute toy.
Hannah. Hannah.
Daddy's
Hannah.
Hi, baby doll.
Oh, she's stuck.
Good girl. Good job.
Hannah. Hannah. How do you give Grumps a hug?
Can you give him a hug, honey?
Oh.
That's so nice, baby.
That's very
Good
sweet.
girl.
Very nice.
All right, Jakey, why don't you show? Sid, why don't you look at Jakey typing out his name?
Good girl, sweetie.
Can you take it over to Grumps? Take it over to Grumps. But to you, Jacob, I am great grandma.
You like that, huh?
Yay. Isn't it amazing how fast your house can turn into a house of toys?
It is a house of toys here, yeah. Hey, sweetie. Thank you.
Well, we've had a wonderful, wonderful time celebrating both of your birthdays with you. With Grogs and with Grumps.
wonderful for us.
90th birthday. 90th and 86th. Very, very nice. And it's really been a joy for us to come up and be with you.
Thank you. It was our thrill to have you all here.
Not nearly as much as it was our thrill to be here.
And our thrill to see these children develop. So beautiful.
They're doing pretty well.
They are wonderful.
Very good kids.
Jakey, can you say bye-bye?
I thought he was just
I don't want to be in your hotel room at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Well, I say, let's have some cake.
Some cake.
I really wanted to, but
Would you like
chocolate and lemon both, or
That was just a tease. What's
chocolate?
All I want is one piece. Everybody else can have it as a rest.
Sid,
He just wants one very large.
That's lemon pie and that's
what do you got? Lemon pie is.
I'll show you. I think it's
And I'm sharing with everybody.
Sunny, say hello.
Oh, such a good boy. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. That's my baby. That's my. He's stuck. He's stuck, Sid.
Oh, no, he'll get through. Well, maybe he won't get through that.
No, he won't. He's really stuck.
There he goes. Yay.
There he goes.
Yay!
He started applauding himself. That's my baby. Do you want to come up here with Grandma?
Oh, okay.
Do you want to put him up there?
Come up here. Oh, hooray! Come on up here, darling. No,
baby doll.
I have to get Jules out. I have a.
Wait, here comes Jake for the.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Aww.
That's nice, honey.
Good boy.
He's very squirmy.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee 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 all the way home. Yay! He says you're getting too personal with
Oh,
me.
cute.
There you go. Reading material.
Hello, Grumps. It's Father's Day 2006. Isn't it amazing?
Isn't it amazing? Truthfully amazing.
Shockingly amazing.
Shockingly.
He wants to get in there and have fun.
He's in the best of good spirits this morning.
Well, here we are. It is June 15th or 16th? I think it's the 18th.
Actually, the 18th.
Father's Day 2006, and we're here with Grags and Grumps at their home in Seattle, Washington for your 60th anniversary. We've had a lot of 60 years. Who would have ever guessed that we would all be together 60 years later? Well, we didn't know because we weren't around 60 years ago when you guys got together. But so we just wanted to sort of talk to you guys about a little history of your lives, where you met, and the great 60 years you've had together. So Grumps, we'll start with you. How's that? Because
Sounds fine.
you were born in Chicago, weren't you?
I was.
And I think in Chicago, you were born and you have two brothers,
Yes, I do.
and they are Marvin and Bernie.
Marvin is my older brother. Bernie is my younger one.
And your parents' names were what?
My parents' names were Abraham and Florence.
Now, Abraham, great grandpa Marks, I think I met him a handful of occasions.
Yes.
And because I remember being at a party for him when I was a kid.
Oh, good.
So, I don't think I ever met great grandma Marks. I don't think.
Yeah.
And Groggs, you were born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
No, I was born in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Well, I knew there was a burg there.
Yeah, it was a bird.
I was gonna go let Roy in and I'll be right back.
Okay, great. You were born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
That's right.
and you didn't have any brothers or sisters,
No, I was an only child.
an only child, and your mom's name was
Betty
Tompkins Friedberg, and your dad's name was,
Samuel Friedberg.
and that's where my middle name Samuel comes from.
Exactly.
It was in honor of your father.
That's right.
There you go. Okay. So when and the two of you met, I think in Chicago.
No.
No?
In
We
Los
met
Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
We were both on vacation in Los Angeles at the same time.
And I'm gonna.
Visiting members of our family.
Yeah, well, different. His family and I was visiting my family, and our two first cousins were best friends.
Uh-huh.
We met through those best friends.
And I think the two cousins put a game of playing cards together.
They did
right.
playing bridge.
That's right.
And destiny was forged at that bridge game.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
By the way, did you win the game? Do you recall?
No, but he won the girl, and that was the best.
That was the best part, wasn't it, Grumps?
It was.
That was the best part.
And we were married 3 weeks later.
3 weeks later. Wow.
That's right.
That means you must have met in the late May of, this is 2006, so in 1946, late May of 1946
That's right.
is when you first set eyes on each other.
That's right.
Who would have ever known that would be the best day of your life, Grumps, huh? That would be the day that changed everything.
It was a wonderful day.
Absolutely. So then, once you got married, did you get married in Los Angeles, or did you?
Los Angeles, and Grandpa had to go back. He was a senior resident at Michael Reeves Hospital,
and he had
In
to go
Chicago.
back to complete his residency.
Yeah, okay, and that was in Chicago.
Yeah.
So then you both moved to Chicago and stayed there for roughly how many years? Do you remember?
I think it was about a year and a half. He was finished.
And did you stay living in Chicago past that, or did you instantly move somewhere else? Didn't you move to Richland?
No, we moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where Grandpa got his first job as a physician and a pathologist at the Veterans Administration Hospital in Albuquerque.
And you lived in Albuquerque until about when?
Was it about 2 years or 2.5? And at that time, when we moved to Albuquerque, I was pregnant with your Uncle Richard, so
Is that
he
right?
was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, Uncle Richard was born in Albuquerque.
That's right.
This whole time I thought he was born in Richland.
No.
But it wasn't too long before you moved to Richland.
Well, it was because various things happened that we hadn't planned on, but eventually we did move to Richland, Washington in September of 1950.
Wow. Richland in 1950 must have been a very, very small place.
It was related to the Hanford nuclear plant
Mm-hmm.
at that time. And there was a hospital, and I practiced pathology in the hospital and participated in the radiation research in the Hanford plant.
That's right.
See, Grumps was always very involved in the sciences and medical things, and Groggs was always very involved with the law and things
Not
legal.
always. At that time, I was just a simple housewife raising 2 little boys.
You were always, my memories are very much of you both always very involved in your family, that is for sure.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
It's the most important thing.
I'm going to stop for 1 second here. We're back with Grags and Grumps. Or Grogs. Well,
We're glad to be back.
when you got married in 1946, do you recall roughly what a gallon of gas cost at the time? It's about $3.60 a gallon now.
Do you remember? No. I haven't the foggiest notion. Maybe 38 cents a gallon.
How about a movie? Do you recall how much that cost to go to the movie?
I have no idea.
It's about $12 now.
Oh, no. We're talking either 75 cents or 80 cents.
Wow. 75 or 80 cents. And when you lived in, you lived in Albuquerque, and you moved to Richland in 1950.
Yes.
And you lived in Richland for quite some time before moving to Los Angeles again.
Yes, we did.
How long did you live in Richland for the first time? Because you lived there twice.
Yes.
We lived there from 1960 to 1964.
No, 50.
Oh, 1950, I should say.
Yeah, okay.
To 1964. Then we started a program in Los Angeles at UCLA. And I continued to go back to Richland for 1/4.
Three more years.
Till 19...
For a quarter of 3 more years.
Yeah, until 1967, and I completed my PhD work there, and was it
70.
Yeah. Well, from 1968 to 1970, I was full-time in UCLA.
Wow.
And I finished the PhD in 1970.
So when my mother and father moved to Los Angeles with Jill from Seattle, you must have already been living in Los Angeles at the time.
Yes, we were.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Did you not know that?
I didn't. I thought they were living in Richland and came to visit.
No, they were
I
actually
always
living.
thought that now, obviously, as a baby.
Sure.
Now, it wasn't, I think the next place you lived after LA was Bethesda, Maryland, wasn't it?
Before we leave LA and UCLA, I'd like to state that
Please.
from 62 to from 63 to 67, I attended UCLA Law School.
Yes, you did.
Graduated,
Yeah.
became a member of the California Bar and worked in the law in Los Angeles.
What, do you remember your field of practice, or did you have a specialty?
Oh, no, I worked as a law clerk to a judge in downtown Los Angeles.
No kidding.
Wasn't it
That's
Judge
right.
Wapner? Didn't you work for Judge Wapner?
I didn't. I knew Judge Wapner, but
From the
he
People's
was
Court.
beginning judge, but I did work for Judge John Cole
Wait.
and Robert Kinney, and for a man by the name of Pact,
Cut that
Judge
out.
Pact.
I would imagine the traffic back then was not nearly as bad as it is now getting to downtown.
No, it wasn't hard to get there from West Los Angeles, where we lived.
Very hard to get from West Los Angeles to downtown these days.
It took me maybe 20 minutes at the most from
Wow.
my house to parking down at the courthouse.
But I recall you saying that you both lived in LA during the Watts riots, I think.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
we did.
1967.
That must have been absolutely terrifying.
Well, it was
Is that when LA burnt?
very terrifying, but it was a little bit distant because we lived in a neighborhood where we could see the fires burning in
Wow.
Watts.
Wow. Can you imagine?
No, that
But-
could not imagine.
But
Wow.
we were in Beverly Hills, which was relatively safe neighborhood.
Beverly Hills is still a
Yeah.
prime area, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.